Yeah, good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. I welcome us all to another beautiful day. Today is the 15th of April. Right. Today is Wednesday, 15th of April. I welcome us all to the Do Quick right sport analysis. Right. What we do here is we analyze we analyze sports, right, with data, right, on the Do Quick platform. We analyze different football games and basketball with data, right, without wasting much of our time. Let's go into the Champions League yesterday, right? The Champions League yesterday between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, and then Liverpool and PSG, right? Yeah, I said it during yesterday's analysis that it was going to be a very difficult clash for the Barcelona team, right? They started very well. That's the truth. They started very well. There were a lot of high hopes, right, when Neymar scored the first goal, right? But without wasting more time, I'm just going to say this, right? The defenders that Barcelona they currently have, right? They do not have that experience. They do not have that maturity, right? To handle right the formation that Flick is playing on the European scene, right? In the La Liga, right? You have a lot. Only Madrid is the big club, and Atletico Madrid in La Liga, right? The other clubs they can easily handle the high press and all that. But in the big European nights, right? It's very difficult, right? Having a red card for the same offense, home and away, is no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Don't be deceived. It was no coincidence. It was a tactical plan by Simeone. It was a tactical plan by Simeone. And let me tell you, go and watch both the home and away. You will see that it was the same incident, right? Not just the same incident, it was the same pattern. Let me quickly explain when I say the same pattern, right? So what Atletico Madrid, what their attackers were doing was that they tried it like two, three times before they got it, right? So what they do is that once they beat the press, right? Once they beat that high, Barcelona, they because they play a high line, they press you, right? The attackers press you, and that's how Yami Lamar scored the first goal because of the high press, right? So what they do is that they press you, and then the back line is high. So, but once you're able to beat that press, right, you are one on one with the keeper. But here is what Atletico Madrid attackers they do. They beat the press with so much speed, right? With so much speed. But once they beat the press, once they are one on one with the keeper, once they are getting closer to the keeper, they reduce their speed. They go and watch it again. They reduce their speed. When they reduce their speed, they know that they are the last man, and they have a so when they don't have a defender with them, they go and they try to score. Once they have a defender with them, they reduce their speed to invite a challenge because they know it's a red card. And guess what? Barcelona fell for that trick. And that's exactly what they did in the first round. They tried it in the first half of yesterday game. They couldn't get it. Right? They couldn't get it. So once they beat the press and they are now one on one with the keeper, instead of them to try and maintain their speed to create a chance to try and make a save or score, they reduce their speed to invite. So what Barcelona did yesterday, when Silot, when he reduced his speed, if you notice, Conde was now trying to increase his speed, so to make sure that Eric Garcia was not the last man. To make sure Eric Garcia was not the last man. But before he could get there, Eric Garcia would have waited just for a split 2 seconds or 3 seconds to make sure Conte beat ran further than both of them, so that he does not become the last man before he could bring slot down Silot down, but he couldn't wait for that 2, 3 split seconds. So those things happen between the split of 3, 4 seconds, right? So, but Diego Simoni again got ahead of them. Yeah, well done to Atletico Madrid. Well done to Atletico Madrid. They have qualified for the semi-finals. They are going to meet the winner between Arsenal and Sporting today, right? For Liverpool and for Liverpool and PSG, there was really not much to say, right? It was expected, really. It was expected that Portugal will easy. I mean, I suppose PSG will easily win that match. But I didn't really. I really was hoping, right? I really was hoping that Liverpool will give some form of fight, right? Anyway, they tried, but yeah, what I just want to say is that PSG they are quietly picking their form, right? quietly they are picking their form in the very, very right moment. They are gradually getting to form, right? They beat Liverpool home and away 2-0, 2-0 home, 2-0 away without conceding a goal, right? In the quarterfinals. This is Liverpool. This is Anfield. No matter how bad Liverpool's form is at Anfield, right? And Anfield, you cannot easily take them out. That's the truth. No matter how bad they are playing, when they're in Anfield, the Champions League match, you cannot easily win, all right? And then they just easily won them, right? So the match between today is now the match between the big one, right? The big one between Bayern Munich and Madrid. But what I want to say for the game between Arsenal and Sporting is that you really don't know what to expect from Arsenal. That's the truth. No Arsenal fan knows what to expect from the Gunners today, right? Everybody's just looking and hoping and wishing that something good will happen. Right? That's how bad things are, right? For Arsenal. They've been on a terrible run of form. That's the truth. They've been on a terrible run of form, right? If they are not careful, if the team doesn't stand up by next week, they'll be out of all competition, trophyless. All right, without wasting much time, let's go into our match. Our featured games for today, right, is the game between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. Personally, I don't think Real Madrid can win at the Munich Stadium. I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so that they can win. All right. So here at Duke, what we do is that we analyze the numbers. All right, the numbers of their past performances. All right, the data behind their past performances, because if you understand the past performances, you are not able, right, to understand what's going to happen in the next match. So we look at the past performances of both teams. That's what we do here at Do Quick. All right. So let's look at the numbers behind the past performances of Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. All right, and Real Madrid. Bayern Munich are going to be playing at home today. All right. So what do we have? What do we have for this game? You can see that in the last 5 games, right? In the last 5 matches, Bayern Munich, they've scored an average of 4 goals and conceded an average of approximately one when they are playing at home, right? In their last 5 matches, right? While Real Madrid, when they are playing away from home, right, they've scored an average of two and conceded an average of two approximately when they are playing away from home in their last 5 games, all right? In their last 5 games, let's look at halftime. Let's look at halftime to see. All right, you can see for halftime, Bayern Munich, they've scored an average of two and they concede zero. So actually, Bayern Munich they score a lot of first half goals, and actually they usually keep clean sheets, right? At least in their last 5 matches. What about Madrid? Madrid they scored an approximately of one goal also, and they have conceded one goal for first half in their last 5 games. Okay, for first half in their last 5 games. All right. So that's you can also look at their last 10 games to see how consistent they have been, right? You can see that in their last what's it called in their last 5 and 10 games, right? When Bayern Munich, when they are playing at home, they scored an average of 4 goals and conceded one. They are very ruthless when they are playing at home, right? While Madrid, when they are playing away from home, they scored an average of approximately one and approximately two and conceded one in their last 10 games, all right? When they are playing both home and away, all right, both home and away. Let's go back to their last 5 games. All right, let's look at their head to head. All right, let's look at their head to head. You can see that in their last 5 games, Bayern Munich they are on a 100% form. All right, they are on 100% form in their last 5 games. Okay, they're on 100% form in their last 5 games. While Real Madrid are on a 60% form. Bayern Munich they have scored and they have won their last 5 games. Right, while Madrid has not won in their last 3 games. Okay. So they're on a 40% form. And you can see that in their last 5 games head to head together, Bayern Munich has won twice and they've drawn each other twice, and Madrid has won once. All right. So that is that's the head to head analysis of the game between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, all right, let's look at their corner kicks in their last 5 games, okay? Okay, let's go to head to head. Let's look at their last 10 games to see how consistent both teams have been in their last ten games. Okay, you can see their last 10 games. Bayern Munich they actually dropped by 1%, and they were 100% in their last 5 games. Now they are 90%. While Madrid 40%. So Madrid was 60% in their last 5 games. So they actually dropped, right? Both teams actually dropped from a bit, right? But Bayern Munich has not lost any of their last 10 games. 9 win and 1 draw. 9 win and 1 draw. That's an exceptional form. Exceptional form. 9 wins and 1 draw. But if you look at the last 10 times that both teams have met, Madrid has actually won 6 times, all right? 6 times. Bayern Munich has just won two. So the last time that Bayern Munich has actually won, right? The Bayern Munich has won is the last 2 times, all right? Last 2 times, Madrid they've been dominant over Bayern Munich, but in recent times, all right, in recent times, some people will say, and the Mbappe critics will say since Mbappe came to Madrid, he has destabilized the form of Madrid. Well, we'll see how that goes because it's not going to be funny, right? If the biggest club in the world goes second season without a trophy. Right? Normally, what they do at Madrid is that once you don't win as a coach, as a gaffer, once you go trophyless in that season, you are out. Right? There's no room for you must win a trophy at least, right, for every season. Right? But we'll see how it goes today. We'll see how it goes today. They've already lost La Liga, right? There's no way they're not going to catch Barcelona. Barcelona are 9 points clear. There's no way Barcelona will lose 3 games again for the end of the season, right? So that one is already gone, right? So if they lost to Bayern Munich today at Bayern at Munich, so they are trophyless, right? We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes, all right? So let's look at their corner kicks. When Bayern Munich, when they are playing at home, they scored an average of 9. They've gotten an average of 9 corner kicks and considered 2. While Madrid, when they are playing away from home, they got an average of 5 and conceded 8 approximately. All right, let's look at their foul. When they are playing at home, they scored an average of 6.5. They've got an average of 6.5 fouls, and then they've also committed 6 fouls, all right, when they are playing at home. Right. What about Madrid? What about Madrid? When they are playing away from home, they've gotten an average of 10 fouls and conceded 11 fouls. All right. What about shots on goal? Shots on goal. At home, when they are playing at home, they got have an average of 9 shot on goal and considered 5. All right. While Madrid, when they are playing away from home, they have an average of 7 and considered 5. All and considered 5. All right. What about offside? What about offside? When Bayern Munich, when they are playing at home outside, they have gotten 1 and conceded 4. Right, while Madrid, when they are playing at home for offside, they have gotten 4. Right, and they have conceded 1.5. What about goalkeeper saves? Goalkeeper saves. When they are playing at home, they have so when they're playing at home and they have considered their keeper has considered sorry they have forced the opposition keeper, right, to make 4 saves, and while their own keeper has considered 5 saves. All right. All right. So when this goalkeeper conceding 5 save drastically increased after their last game, right? After their last UEFA Champions League game, when Manuel Neuer was the man of the match, right? When Neuer was the man of the match, right? Right, he really kept them in that game. All right. So what about Madrid? What about Madrid? When they are playing away from home, what's it called? The keeper, they've gotten 4 corner kicks and considered 4.5. All right. What about yellow cards? All right. Yellow cards. You can see that Madrid, they've got an average of 1 and considered, they've got an average of 1. They've been awarded an average of 1 yellow cards per game, and they've considered 1 also. What about Madrid? Madrid have been awarded an average of 2 yellow cards and they've considered 3 yellow cards. Okay. What about red card? All right, you can see that Bayern Munich in the last 5 games, okay, 0-0. Madrid, so Madrid has considered 1 red card in the last 5 games, okay, the last 5 games. So these are the analysis across. These are the analysis across the last 5 games. You can check for the last 10 games. You can check for all seasons. All right, you can check for the last 10 games. You can check for all season also. Right, so this is the data analysis. All right, this is the data analysis of the Champions League, of the UEFA Champions League match between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid that will be happening and that will be happening around 20:00 West African time. All right, West African time. You can log into the Do Quick platform and analyze these games and other games yourself, all right? And other games yourself. So we go to our favorite today to see the games that we have. Like I said, we don't have much football, so we're just going to look at the two Champions League games today. We look at Cristiano Ronaldo today to see how they are going to fare in their game. All right, and then we look at some basketball games around Europe. Right, and then we now look at the NBA games that we have today. I think we have two NBA games later tonight. All right, we look at this and then call it a day. All right. So let's go to our next feature, which is the second UEFA Champions League game between Arsenal and Sporting. Arsenal and Sporting, like I said earlier on, even the Gunners do not know what to expect. All right, even the Arsenal fan base do not know what to expect from Arsenal today. Everybody they are keeping their fingers crossed and hoping that Arsenal Arteta can get over the line to the semi-finals to meet Atletico Madrid, right? But anything can happen, right? Arsenal, they need to pick up, they need to step up, right? They can rise, right? Gyökeres, right? Eze has just been average, right? He has been average this season. Eze has not been the spark, right? I hope he's able to play today. He's been going off and off the team. And Maduke, I'm not sure Saka will play today. Maduke, you guys have to do something on the right wing. Martinelli and then Trossard, whoever plays there, you guys have to do something good today, all right? Saliba and Gabriel, you guys need to keep the defense clean, all right? Raya, you have been very average your last games, all right? Raya, you have to step up, all right? You have to step up, okay? So let's look at their numbers, all right? Let's look at their numbers, okay? Let's look at their numbers. You can see that in their last 5 games, all right, in their last 5 games, Arsenal they've gotten and they've scored an average of 1 goal and conceded one when they are playing at home, all right. When they are playing at home, while Sporting when they are playing away from home, they've gotten an average of approximately two and conceded one when they are playing away from home, all right. When they are playing away from home, all right, in their last 5 games, all right in their last 5 games. What about their head to head? What about their head to head? You can also look at when you go. Let's go back to go. You can also look at their last 10 games to see how they have fared. Right, you can see in their last 10 games when they are playing at home, they scored an average of one and they've scored an average of two. They scored an average of one and considered one. When they are playing at home, while Sporting when they are playing away from home, they scored an average of two and conceded one. All right, and conceded one when they are playing away from home. That is their last 10 games analysis for goals scored and conceded when they are playing for both home and away. All right, let's look at halftime. So let's look at halftime in their last 5 games. All right, let's look at halftime in their last 5 games. You can see that halftime in their last 5 games when Arsenal they are playing at home and they scored an average of one and considered zero for halftime. Right, while Sporting when they are playing away from home for halftime, they scored approximately they've not scored and they have considered an average of one. That should give Arsenal some comfort. All right, that should give Arsenal some comfort. Okay, so let's go to their head. Let's go to their head to head to see how their form has been in their last 5 games. All right. In their last 5 games, you can see that Arsenal on a 40% form, all right. Arsenal on a 40% form. Arsenal on a 40% form, while Sporting are on a 60% form. Arsenal has won two and lost three of their last 5 matches, right? They've lost two and won three of the last, they've lost three and won two of the last 5 matches, while Sporting has won three and lost two. So Sporting are in a slighter higher form than Arsenal in their last 5 games, all right? Their last 5 games, you can see that Sporting has not won Arsenal in their last 5 matches. Arsenal has actually won 3 times and drew 2 times against Sporting, all right? You can also look at their head-to-head when they are playing against each other, all right? You can also look at their last 10 games all season to understand how consistent they have been, all right? To understand how consistent they have been, okay? So let's go to their corner kicks. Let's go to their corner kicks. You can see that in their last 5 games, Arsenal they've got an average of 8 and conceded 4, right? While Sporting has gotten an average of 6 and conceded 3. right? For foul, Arsenal has gotten an average of 9 and conceded 12 when they are playing at home, while Sporting, they've gotten an average of 12 and conceded 14 when they are playing away from home. Right? What about shots on goal? Shots on goal. Arsenal, they've gotten an average of 6 and conceded 2, while Sporting, they've gotten an average of 4 and conceded 4 shots on goal. Right? What about offside? Offside, Arsenal, they've gotten an average of 1 and conceded 0 offside, while Sporting, they've gotten an average of 2 approximately and considered 0. All right, what about goalkeeper saves? Goalkeeper saves. Arsenal, they've gotten an average of 1 and considered 5. While Sporting, they've gotten an average of 3 and considered 2. What about yellow cards? Yellow card, Arsenal, they've gotten an average of 1 and considered 2. While Sporting they've got an average of 2 and considered 2 also. Also, what about the red card? Okay, both teams have not gotten red card, right? So this is the data analysis of the UEFA Champions League game today between Arsenal and Sporting. All right, between Arsenal and Sporting, you can log into the Do Quick platform and analyze these games and other football games yourself, all right, and other football games yourself, okay? Before we go into basketball, let's quickly look at the game between Al-Nassr and Al-Tifad, okay? Cristiano Ronaldo, what do you guys have for us? Cristiano Ronaldo, let's see their form first. You can see that Cristiano Ronaldo, they are on 100% form, all right? They have not lost any of their last 5 games. Why Al-Tifad, they are on the 20% form, all right? So we understand where the game will likely go to, all right? You can see that in their last 5 games, right? Consider the last 5 games, Ronaldo and his team they scored an average of 3 and conceded 1. Right, while the away team has scored an average of 1 and conceded 2. All right, in their last 5 games. Okay, you can also look at the halftime. All right, and look at the halftime. Let's go to their. So we have already looked at their H to H. All right, you can see that both teams have won each other twice and they've drawn once. So that's it for their head to head. All right. That's it, their head to head for their last 5 games. Okay. You can also look at their last 10 games. You can also look at all season to see how consistent they have been. All right. To see how consistent they have been. All right. So you can look at their corner kicks. All right. This is the corner kick for Cristiano's and his team. All right. And this is the corner kick for away. All right. This is the foul for Ronaldo and his team. All right. This is the foul for away. This is the shot on target for Ronaldo and his team. Right, this is the shot on target for away. This is the offside for Ronaldo and his team. Right, this is the offside for away. Right, this is the goalkeeper save for Ronaldo and his team. This is the goalkeeper save for away. This is the yellow card for Ronaldo and his team. This is the yellow card for away. This is the red card, and both teams they've not gotten a red card. I think Etihad they forced their opponent to be awarded one red card in their last 5 games. All right, so this is data analysis. Right, this is data analysis of the Saudi Arabia game, Pro League game between El Nassi and El Atifad. All right, you can also go to the Do Quick platform and analyze that game yourself. All right, so that's that for football today. All right, that's that for football today. Let's now look at the basketball games around Europe. All right, let's look at the basketball games around Europe that will be happening today, and then we look at the what's it called? And then we look at the NBA games. Okay, okay, we are going to look at the game between we're going to look at the game between Tenerife and we're going to look at the game between let's Okay, so let's look at the game between Tenerife, also known as Canaries. Okay, Canaries versus Galatasaray. Okay, this is a Champions League, the Europe Basketball Champions League between Canaries and Galatasaray. All right, Galatasaray. So let's look at what do we have for this, and what do we have for both teams. You can see that in the last 5 games, the Canaries they've scored an average of 81 points and considered 79, right, when they are playing at home. When they are playing at home, while Galatasaray they scored an average of 88 and conceded 79. Galatasaray, they are quite efficient, okay? They are quite efficient. That's the truth. They are quite efficient. They don't they are scoring a lot of points and they are not conceding so much point. Okay, so they are quite efficient for Galatasaray. All right, so that's for full time. Let's go to half time. Let's go to halftime in their last five matches to see how they have performed. Okay, so in their last five matches, you can see that when they are playing at home, the Canaries they've scored an average of 41 and conceded 37. While Galatasaray, when they are playing away from home, they scored an average of 42 and conceded 40. All right, in their last five games halftime. Okay, in their last five games halftime. All right, in their last five games halftime. Okay, so let's look at, and you can also look at their last 10 games and all season, all right, to understand how consistent they have been, all right. Let's look at their head to head. You can see that both teams, Canaries and Galatasaray, they are both on a 60% form, all right. They have both won three and lost two out of their last five matches, all right. Out of their last five matches, okay. You can also look at their last 10 games all season to know how consistent they have been. All right. You can see from their head to head, Canaries, they've won three, and Galatasaray has won two. All right. You can also look at their head to head scores and then their upcoming games. All right. All right. Okay. So these are actually the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Okay. These are actually the quarterfinals of the Champions League. All right. Of the European Basketball Champions League. Okay. Let's look at their field goals. Okay. Let's look at their field goals. You can see that when Canaries are playing at home, they scored an average of 17. Right, they've scored an average of 17. They got an average of 17 and an average of 18 field goals and conceded 16 when they're playing at home. While Galatasaray, when they're playing away from home, they've got an average of 16 and conceded 21. All right. What about their 3 points and 3 point goals? When they are playing at home, you can see that Canaries they scored an average of 9 and conceded 10 while Galatasaray scored an average of 12 and considered 7, all right? What about free throw goals, all right? Free throw goals, when Galatasaray, when they are playing at home, they've scored an average of 21. They've got an average of 21 free throw goals and considered 15. While Galatasaray, when they are playing away from home, they got an average of 14 and considered 16. All right, what about rebound? Rebound, when Canaries are playing at home, they got an average of 29 and considered 30. While Galatasaray got an average of 30 and considered 31. All right. What about assists? Galatasaray, they've got an average of 11 and considered 13. Right. While Galatasaray, they've gotten an average of 16 and considered 13. What about steal? Canaries, they've gotten an average of 4 steals and they've got an average of 4 steals and considered 4. Right. Why Galatasaray average of 8 and considered 7? What about blocks? Blocks. Canaries, they've got an average of 2 and considered 3 when they are playing at home. While Galatasaray, they've got an average of 5 and considered 3, right? When they are playing away from home in their last five games, all right? What about turnovers? Canaries, they've gotten an average of 10 and considered 9 approximately. While Galatasaray, they got an 13 and considered 14, all right? Turnovers, all right? This is the data analysis of the game in their last five matches, full time between the Canaries and Tenerife and Galatasaray, the Champions League, the quarterfinals Champions League game. All right, so you can also log into the Duke platform and analyze these games and other basketball games yourself. All right, and other basketball games yourself. Okay, let's go to the next basketball game, which is the German BBL game between Chenex, right? Chimnex and Chinex and all right, Chinex and Okay, you can see that in their last five games, the home team they've scored an average of 85 points and gotten 80 and considered 80 when they are playing at home. While the away team, when they are playing away from home, they've gotten an average of 78 and 79 points and considered 85. All right, that's for full time. And let's look at halftime. Okay, let's look at halftime. You can see that the home team, when they are playing at home, they've gotten an average of 47 points. They scored an average of 7 points. All right, average of 7 points and then considered 32. All right, while the away team, they scored an average of 43 points and considered 40 when they are playing away from home. All right, Let's now look at that for halftime. Okay, let's go back to full time and let's look at their head to head to see how their form has been. All right. You can see that you can see their form. You can see that and the home team they're on the 20% form, while the away team are on the 40% form. All right, the home team have lost 4 of their last 5 games. All right, while the away team has won 2 out of their last 5 games. Okay, so if you look at their head to head, you can see that the away team has won more. They won 4 times, while the home team has won just one in their last 5 encounters. All right, let's look at their field goals. All right, let's look at their field goals and order. All right, so this is the field goals for home. This is the field goals for away. What about 3 point goals? This is 3 points goals for home. This is 2 point goals for away. What about free throw goals? This is three free throw goals for home. This is free throw goals for away. What about rebound? This is rebound for home. This is rebound for away. What about assist? This is assist for home. This is assist for away. What about steal? This is steal for home. And this is the steal for away. What about blocks? Right? This is the blocks for home. This is the blocks for away. What about turnovers? Right? This is a turnover for home. This is a turnover for away. All right. So this is the data analysis of the German BBL basketball game between Chemax and All right. You can log into the Do Quick platform and analyze yourself. Please pardon my pronunciation for some of these teams. Okay. For some of these teams. Let's look at the next game across Europe. Let's look at the next game across Europe, which is the Swedish league. All right, this which is the Swedish league, all right, which is the Swedish league, okay, which is the Swedish league. All right, this is a semi-final game in the semi-final game between Luleå and Norrköping. All right, right, and Norrköping. All right, let's look at their numbers. Let's look at their numbers. All right, when the home team are playing, when they are playing at home, when they are playing at home, they score an average of 88 points. Okay, they score an average of they scored an average of 88 points and conceded 97 when they are playing at home. All right, they are conceding more than they are scoring for full time. While the away team, they've also scored 96 points and conceded 85. So both teams are scoring a lot of points and also conceding a lot of points. So this is going to be a high scoring game. This is going to be a high scoring game. All right, let's look at halftime. Okay, let's look at halftime. What do we have for halftime? What do we have for halftime? What do we have for halftime? Okay, the home team, when they are playing away from home, they score 35 goals halftime. They've scored 35 points and considered 49. While the away team, they scored an average of 48 and considered 37 when they are playing away from home. All right, when they are playing away from home. So that is the halftime analysis of their points scored in their last 5 games. Okay, you can also look at their last 10 games. You can look at all season. All right, what about their head to head? All right. What about their heads to head? Let's look at their heads to head. Let's look at their head to head. What do we have for their head to head? You can see, let's look at their head to head. You can see that the home team on the 40% form, they have lost two. They have lost 3 out of their last 2 games, while the away team are on the 80% form. They have actually won their last 4 games. All right. So the away team are on a better form. And you can also see that the away team has won 4 out of their last 5 encounters, while the home team has won just once. Okay. So that is the head-to-head between these two teams from the basketball league. Okay, let's look at their field goals. Let's look at their field goals. Okay, this is the field goals for home, right? And this is the field goals for away. What about 3 point goals? Okay, this is the 3 point goals for home, and this is the 3 point goals for away. What about free throws? This is the free throws for home, and this is the free throws for away. What about rebound? This is the rebound for home. This is the rebound for away. What about assist? This is assist for home. This is assist for away. What about steals? Steals. This is steals for home. This is steals for away. What about blocks? This is the block for home. This is the block for away. What about turnover? This is turnover for home. And also this is a turnover for away. All right, that's the turnover for away. Okay. So that is the data analysis of the basketball, the Swedish basketball game between Luleå and Nobkim. Okay, you can also log into the Duke platform and analyze these games and other games yourself. All right, and other games yourself. Okay, let's look at our next game, which is the French basketball league game between the Joburg and Lemux. Okay, Lemux. Let's look at Lemux. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. Okay, so this is the March 25 of this the French basketball league. All right, French basketball league. Okay, you can see that for the last 5 games, the home team they have scored an average of 91 points when they are playing at home and conceded 79, while the away team they scored an average of 64 and conceded 99. They are not scoring and they are conceding a lot of points. Right, this definitely tells me that their home form is their form is not so great. They are scoring 94, which is very low, 64, which is very low, and conceding 99, which is very, very high. All right, let's look at their halftime. Let's look at their halftime, okay? Let's look at their halftime. You can see for their halftime, the home team has scored an average of 52 and conceded 43, while the away team has scored an average of 26 and conceded 51, 26, an average of 26. That's terribly poor. All right, that's terribly poor. And they've conceded 51. That's high. That's high, all right? That's high. Okay, so let's you can also look at their last 10 games. You can also look at all season, all right, to know how their form has been. All right. So let's look at their head to head. Like I said, without even looking at it, I know that they are going to be on a poor run of form. Okay. You can see that the home team, they are on 100% form. They won all their last 5 games, while the away team has won only the last game out of their last 5. They've actually lost their last 5. They are in a wretched run of poor run of form. Okay. And you can see that the home team, they've won 4 out of their last encounter, right? So that is the head-to-head analysis of this game. Let's look at the field goals. All right. Let's look at the field goals. This is the field goals for home, and this is the field goals for away. This is the 3 points for home, right? And this is 3 points for away. This is the free throws for home. This is the free throws for away. This is the rebound for home. This is the rebound for away. All right. This is the assist for home. This is the assist for away. This is steals for home. This is steals for away. This is the blocks for home. This is the blocks for away. This is the turnover for home. This is a turnover for away. Okay, so this is the French basketball league game between Joburg and Limoges. All right, Limoges. You can also log into the Duke platform and analyze these games and other basketball games across the entire world yourself. Okay, across the entire world yourself. All right, let's look at the last game before we go into the 2 NBA games. Okay, so this is the Argentina league between Plantes and Regatas. Plantes and Regatas. Let's just look at their numbers. Argentina basketball league. Let's look at their numbers quickly. You can see that we do not have analysis for their last 5 matches when they are playing at home. And why is this? Why is this? Okay, so you can see all their last 5 games have been away. I'm not sure why, but they've not played any of the last 5 games have not been at home. I'm not sure why that is. Why that is that. Let's look at the last 10 games. That's why you cannot see any analysis when they are playing at home. Let's look at the last 10 games to see. Okay, in the last 10 games they played, so we can actually now analyze the last using their last 10 games. Okay, you can see their last 10 games when they are playing at home. They have scored an average of 85 and considered 84, right? And considered 84 and considered 84, right? Why for the away team when they are playing at home, why for the away team when they are playing away from home, they've considered an average of 84 and 98 in their last 10 games, all right? Their last 10 games. So let's look at their half. Let's look at their half. Let's look at their halftime. Okay, let's look at their halftime. You can see that the home team they score an average of 40 and concede 47 when they are playing at home, while the away team have scored an average of 43 and concede 42 when they are playing away from home. All right. Okay, let's go back to their full time. Let's look at their head to head to see how their form has been. All right. Their head to head, you can see that the home team are on a 20% form, while the away team are on a 50% form. All right, they are head to head. Okay, that's for their last 5 games. Okay, let's go to the last 10 games. Let's go to the last 5 games to see how their form has been. You can see that the away team, the home team, on 20% form. That's understandable because they've been playing their last 5 games has been away, all away games. They have actually lost 4 of that. All right, while the home team and they've played 1, 2, 3 home team and 2 away, right? So they're on a 80% form. All right, 80% form. Okay, their last 5 games. Let's look at their field goals. We cannot get any information for this because at home because we don't have any information. They have not played. Their last 5 games have been away. All right, so let's use 10 to analyze these fields. Okay. You can see for field goals, the home is field goals for home, field goals for away. 3 points for home, 3 points for away. Free throws, free throw goes for home, free throw goes for away. Rebound, rebound for home, rebound for away. Assist, assist for home, assist for away. Steals, we don't have steal for both of them. We don't have blocks. We don't have turnover, right? So this is a data analysis of the basketball game, all right, of between Argentina Basketball Liga, a game between Platense and Regatas, all right. And log into the Do Quick platform and also analyze yourself, all right? So let's look at the two NBA games that we have today, all right? Let's look at the two NBA games that we have today, okay? This is actually the semi-finals, all right. This is actually the semi-finals in the NBA, all right. Let's look at it. Let's look at what we have. This is the game between Los Angeles Clippers and the Golden State Warriors. All right, Golden State Warriors. What do we have for this game? In their last 5 matches, in their last 5 games, the Los Angeles Clippers they've scored an average of 113 and conceded 113 when they are playing at home. All right, while the Golden State Warriors they've scored an average of 114 and conceded 119 when they are playing away from home in their last 5 games. Okay, in their last 5 games. Let's look at halftime. All right. Let's look at halftime to see how both teams has fared. You can see that the Los Angeles Clippers they scored an average of 55 and concede 57 when they are playing away from home. All right, why when they are playing away from home, right? Why all right, when they are playing away from home, why what was it called? Right, when they are playing away from home, while the Golden State Warriors, they scored an average of 49 and conceded 57 when they are playing away from home. All right, when they are playing away from home, okay, when they are playing away